And we're live. What?
Oh, just our
The
water.
fucking water cooler turned on.
Yeah, our water cooler turned on.
The water cooler turned on.
Yes.
The water cooler.
It turned on.
It turned on. Yeah, exactly. Oh, God. Here we go. Show number 2.
Show number 2.
Show number 2, except this one's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, this is going to be one where Kimberly's going to gripe a bit.
We'll see. We'll see if Kimberly gripes or not. She says she's going to. I don't think she's going to.
We'll see. Hi, Tom.
And there's Tom. What's he saying? Feliz Navidad?
That's Merry Christmas in Spanish.
Is that what he said?
Feliz Navidad, yeah.
I can't read it this far back.
Feliz Navidad. I believe that's Merry Christmas in Spanish.
It is.
My adopted big sister speaks Spanish.
Well, so is my son-in-law.
No, I would love to learn how to speak Spanish.
I know a little bit.
I don't know a lot. I don't
know enough to really converse.
I'd like to learn how to speak it though.
Real quick. Oh no, that's Portuguese.
Oh yeah, that's Portuguese.
See, that's why I had to put it up on the screen so I can fucking see it.
Yeah, that's Portuguese.
All right, well, you ready to get on the show?
I am. Let's get
I don't think we have anything to really add, do we?
No.
Besides that, we just found out our fucking light set is gone.
Yes.
But then again,
so if you see,
I found out that it was also bought in 2007.
Yeah.
So
if you see in the back that green thing back there, that's part of our tree that we're gonna eventually get up. But our lights are, yeah.
That's half the fake tree.
Yeah.
The rest lights of it is in the totes. They're behind Kimberly.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, Tom. You're killing me with this.
But yeah. Our
anyway,
lights.
So we have so does that mean you're gonna be what do you call it? With subtitles. You're gonna be subtitling for us in Portuguese all day?
No.
Oh, good Lord Almighty!
No.
Sure.
I can.
We're going into the show.
Okay, let's start.
We're hitting one of these damn buttons. Something's gonna work here, and something's not gonna work.
This podcast is part of the Red5 Network. For more Red5 Network podcasts, visit red5network.com.
Welcome to Use and Abuse. I'm Scott.
I'm Kim.
And this is episode 139. And we're going to be talking about the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix review.
Which was the last race of the F1 season.
It was the last race of the F1 season. We want to give a shout out to our chat room real quick. We got Tom and Luna Girl in the chat.
Yes.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
And as always, Kim, she likes to get the business end of the podcast done. So let's go ahead and start with the business end. Kim. I don't even know who the fuck you are anymore. Who are you?
I'm Kim. Last I knew.
You sure?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she's on trans on us.
Hell, no.
Oh, calm down. All right, go.
Thank you to our Patreons, Luna Girl and Dragon Buddy, Don Delasnooch Solski, Brady Big Lovin', Hannah, Mikey, Brenly, and Case.
And if you'd like to join our Patreon, go to patreon.com, search in the creator bar, Used and Abused Pod. Speaking of which, I've been thinking I'm gonna probably start it in January.
Okay.
But I'm thinking about doing some either Patreon only audios or where I record a video and then put it up on our Patreon.
Okay.
For our patrons.
All right, yeah, you can do that.
I mean, obviously you're gonna be working.
I'm not gonna be able to.
So it's gonna be more. It's gonna be more like I don't know, shooting the shit with Scott or some shit. I don't know.
Sure.
Something like that. But we'll it's something I was thinking about doing for our patrons.
Okay. Search for Used and Abused Pod today on all your favorite podcast apps, including Apple, Google, Audible, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.
Well, you made sure you get that fucking radio pinpointed this time.
Yes, I did.
After I gave you shit this morning. We are a proud member of the Red 5 Network. Go to red5network.com to find more exciting podcasts. Also, you head over to Twitter, search out your Red 5 Network, and there at the top, pinned to it, you'll find a bio.link, which will also give you a rundown of all the podcasts, and you click, it goes to Linktree, but it's called bio.link, Kim.
I know.
Okay. Let's do it right. Okay.
Okay.
It says bio.link.
I
It's
know.
right on Twitter.
I know it says bio.link, but it links you to
bio. It's not bio. It's bio.
I said bio. Never
It
mind.
like you said bio to me. Anyways, let's rock and roll. Who are our Red 5 Network members? Who are the Red 5 Network members?
A Star Wars Journey with Ashley and Brandy.
Another Star Wars podcast.
Around the Ring.
ATSW The Escape Pod.
Blue Milk Cafe.
Chats with Chewy.
Conversations.
Coruscant Radio Underground.
Dork Wars.
Force of Light Entertainment.
Just a minute.
From a Certain Point of View. Galaxy of Queers. Jedi Temple Archives Podcast. Mighty Marvel Geeks.
Pizza and Parsecs.
Pod Wars.
Press Play Streaming Studios.
Rogue One Radio.
Salty Nerd.
Starlight Digest.
Scare Scuttlebutt.
Star Wars and Beyond.
The Convergence.
The Lord Be With You.
The Science Fictionary.
The Sidebar Cantina.
Which will be going live tonight.
We're going to get there.
The Snapcast.
Of course, us, Using the Views Pod.
War of the Stars.
We Be Geeks.
And WSTR Galactic Public Access.
And Wookiee Radio.
Oh, my and was that's where I was going to end my
list. You don't say and. I say and. Because I get the last one. Also, as Kim mentioned, let's check out your Red 5 lineup today. Obviously, we went first thing this morning with Elf. Then we're coming back now with our weekend racing recap. Then after us at 5:30 p.m. Eastern will be
the Sidebar Cantina. They'll be going over The Nightmare Before Christmas.
And then at 8 p.m. Eastern will be Rogue One Radio, where they'll be talking about Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
And then at 9 p.m. Eastern, Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast, Scarif Live with special guest inside the booth.
That is your Tuesday night lineup for Red 5. Yes. Also, just so you know, you can also make sure you're following not only your Red 5 Network, but also make sure you're following us on Twitter and also all of the other podcasts, including the Sidebar Cantina, because Lunar Girl does a great job. She pumps out a daily lineup for you to let you know what is going on in the Red 5 family of podcasts every day. We are almost every day. There's a Red 5 Network pod live.
Yes.
On YouTube. Check out the Cantina pod family, the Sidebar Cantina. Again, they're going to be going live tonight. Normally they go on Mondays, but they had to change to the night. Hence why we changed some of our scheduling around.
Yes.
And ATSW The Escape Pod will be live tomorrow night. And of course, they got the 3-headed bucket bros now.
Yes, they do.
And I don't remember what they're doing.
I don't either.
I know I've seen something. All right, you keep. And just so you know, you can find them all on YouTube and on your favorite podcast apps.
Hi, Hannah.
Who else we got there, Kim?
Okay, we've got check out the Orange and Fett Show on Spotify. They will also be doing the Muppet Family Christmas on a YouTube channel. I cannot remember the name of it right now. Trying to think.
Stupid something.
Yeah.
Stupid Spin.
Yeah, Stupid Spin. And they're doing that on Saturday. So
I just don't have a time.
Yeah, we don't have a time, but they're doing that one on Saturday. So we're still trying to figure.
Well, look in the chat. I'm sure Lunar Girl's already fucking told us. Oh. And we're not even paying attention.
No, I'm looking. No.
All right, you look. Let me know let us know what the Escape Pod's doing.
Yes. And Tom said Stupid Spin. It's the YouTube channel.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah, so check out the Orange and Fett Show live on YouTube on the Stupid Spin YouTube channel.
Yes.
We got anything about
Nope.
All right, well, check out the Escape Pod. I believe they're tomorrow night, 7:05 Eastern, right here on YouTube. And they will be doing something anyways, especially with the 3 bucket bros.
Yes.
That is getting It's pretty much the team up on Brady.
That's
last
true.
time I watched it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of fucking hilarious because it's like Brady's kind of like the odd man out now.
Yes, he is.
I love it. Add DV to the mix and boom.
Yeah.
Anyways, you also check out Swede Studios, Big Swede's Excellent Adventure, and Tactical Swede only on YouTube.
Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you are new to the... let me start over. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you are new to the channel, click subscribe and then click the bell to be notified when we go live.
You can find News and Views on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
You can email us at usedandabusedpod@gmail.com and is spelled out AND.
Our website is usedabusedpod.com. There you can find links to all of our episodes, link to our YouTube videos, replays of our live shows, link to our merch store, and link to our Patreon, which is underneath the donate tab. And you can also leave us a message and click subscribe to be notified by email when new audio only episodes are available. And so if you're listening to this and you are one of the audio only people, you're going to just realize you just got a bunch of podcasts dumped on you, a bunch of episodes, because we're behind. And I know I keep saying I'm going to get them out, but I'm really going to get them out this time. And when I do, it is going to be a nightmare for you. Not really. It's going to be great because you're going to have a bunch of shows to listen to.
And as we said, we do have a voicemail now.
Okay.
And our voicemail number is 928-719-0749.
You can give us a call, leave us a voicemail on anything on the show that you like. Leave us a voicemail about a recent show we've done, or if you got any, or you want to just throw something out there, or you want to just say hi or whatnot, you can leave us a voicemail 24/7.
Yes.
Go to tpublic.com and search for Used Abused Pod, all lowercase. For our merch store, there are t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, face masks, onesies, coffee mugs, and etc. And unfortunately, I have not uploaded any new graphics yet, but we will be. I got to work on something. Don't know what yet, but I got to work on something. And in the chat, again, we got Luna Girl, Tom, and I see our social media director, my daughter, Hannah, is in the chat.
Yes.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And this time, we are going to be talking about F1, Formula One. But before we do, we have a little side announcement to make.
Yes.
And you want to go to the start, Kim?
Yes. We want to take a minute to tell you about a really great fundraiser that our friends over at Clashing Sabers are running right now.
While Clashing Sabers has plenty of podcasts and meta-analysis articles for you to enjoy, the coolest thing they do is use their nonprofit branch to put Star Wars books into classrooms across the country. A lot of fans can relate to having Star Wars books as a kid and how it helped shape their lives. And Clashing Sabers is working to continue that legacy, support teachers, and improve literacy across the country. Over the years, they've been able to put over 1,000 books into classrooms and impact hundreds of students. But it takes wonderful Star Wars fans like those of you listening to make that happen.
Right now, they are hosting their third annual holiday fundraiser to continue impacting students and teachers in a time when they really need it more than they ever have before. We'll have all the links for you in the show notes, but you can head over to https://go.rallyup.com/revenge of the reader.
And you can buy raffle tickets for a chance to win a ton of special prizes, including Light of the Jedi, signed by Charles Soule, art by Roberto Benegas, plus more signed memorabilia from Claudia Gray, Delilah S. Dawson, Kevon Scott, and Lamosu, voice actor Bob Bergen, with 100% of your donations goes directly to buying and shipping Star Wars books to classrooms. Your donation is also completely tax deductible, so you really have nothing to lose here. So head on over and help them reach their $2,000 goal, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
Wait, wrong franchise.
I know. Anyways, I remember they reached out to me. I checked them out and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll be more than happy to read that on our show because I think it's really freaking cool. I remember reading. I mean, obviously, when I was in school, all we had was a damn original trilogy, but we did have Splinter of a Mind's Eye, I think it's called. But as far as older like the 90s generation of kids, they got a chance to read all the legacy content that was in their if they chose to.
Yes.
It was in their school libraries. And I think it's a great cause. I think it's a great thing, especially with the fact that it puts books in the schools.
It does. And right now that's what they need is read books in schools.
Right. Anyways, just a little more housekeeping note. Next Tuesday,
we may or may not
do 3 episodes.
Yes. Starting with A Christmas Story.
Then Santa Claus the movie.
Then
the Christmas classics.
The Christmas classics. Yes.
Rankin and Bass.
Yes.
Which we'll do Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and Frosty.
Frosty the Snowman.
We'll touch those 3 for this year.
Yes, even though there's a whole list of them.
And on Tuesday, December 28th, we'll be back to 2 shows. Our 11 a.m., obviously, I'm sorry, that's not 11 a.m. That's 2 p.m. And I put this shit all in Pacific Standard Time.
I know.
Fuck me all up. 2 p.m. Eastern Time will be How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yes.
Which will be with Hannah.
Yes.
At least I hope. And then at 7 p.m. that night, we're going to talk about the new Home Alone movie.
Yes.
That's on what?
Disney Plus.
And at some point this week, I will watch a new movie.
Yes.
That you talked about this morning.
Yes.
What new movie is that? Or not new to me. I mean, it's new to me, but not new to you.
It was a tradition movie that I grew up with, and it's called One Magic Christmas.
All right. Anyways, I think we should get into the party of F1.
Whoa.
What?
That light, I got my phone just right to where the light reflected just right.
Oh. So let's talk about the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Yes, let's talk about it.
I really don't know, like, how much of this we're really gonna
cover.
Like, how much of the race we're gonna cover.
The race.
Actually, we will. I'll go over the standings real quick, the results, and then we'll just kind of go back through it. 4 drivers non-classified, pretty much DNFs. Actually, 5 drivers DNF, but
yes,
1 is considered a quote-unquote classified because he DNF'd within 1 to 2 laps left of the race.
Yes.
Anyways, those out of the race early were Kimi Räikkönen, who lost his brakes.
Yes, George Russell.
Which I don't remember why he was out. Giovinazzi.
Engine, I think.
Antonio Giovinazzi. So that's Räikkönen and Giovinazzi from one team. And then with 4 laps ago, Nicholas Latifi crashes into turn 14 wall.
Yes.
And which then brings up safety car, and we will get into that.
And then just before the end of the race, Sergio Perez of Red Bull was told that they had to retire the car.
Right. And I will go into my Scott's conspiracy theory on why that happened. I have a theory.
Okay.
It ain't a good one. I got 2 theories on it, but we'll talk about that. So the main thing is we're here really just we're going to talk about the championship antagonists. We went into this race. Both Lewis Hamilton and
Max Verstappen were dead even in points.
Right. Whoever wins this race is going to win the championship.
Yes.
Unless they both do not finish, which then Max wins the championship hands down.
Unless they break the rule that Michael Massey set before the race.
Well, first of all, it's not a rule that Michael Massey set. It's a rule inside the FIA FIA code book or rule book. And that is the stewards can, if they feel a driver purposely took somebody out, they can actually impose a penalty points.
Yes.
So in other words, they can take points away from a driver.
Yes.
Which
so
then
at that point through the whole race, it's don't touch me, I won't touch you.
Yeah, pretty much. So let's just go through, and obviously they reprofile the course to hopefully get more passing. More side-by-side racing.
Huh.
You gonna elaborate, or are you just gonna Or are you gonna let me go through? So FP1 ended with free practice 1 ended with Valtteri Bottas hitting the wall, turn 14.
That seems
Free practice 2 ended up with Kimi Räikkönen hitting the turn 14 wall and breaking the hell out of his car. FP3, there was actually no issues. And we got the qualifying, which qualifying looked like it was going to be Lewis on pole until Red Bull pulled a rabbit out of their hat named Sergio Perez and had him give Max Verstappen a toe down one of the DRS rates to give Max pretty much a half a second more speed, which ended up giving Max the pole position.
And then Max repaid the favor with Sergio to get him at a high qualifying position.
Yeah, he didn't really pay as good as freaking Sergio.
No.
But so the other thing I want to bring up here is in Q2, Lewis, Valtteri, and Verstappen had all set times on their yellow marked tires,
Which
medium
are the
tires.
medium tires.
However, Red Bull decided they wanted Max to go around for another run, and he ended up locking his front tire up going into turn 1, which pretty much made that set null and void.
Because there was a flat spot on it.
So after that, they went out and set their fastest lap time in Q2 on the softs or red mark tires. Now, the rules are if you're in the top 10 shootout, in other words, you make it to the top 10 Q3, you have to start the race on the tire that you set your fastest lap on in qualifying 2 or Q2.
Yes. Oh, Tom went to get lunch for his wife.
Oh, cool, man.
See you later tonight.
See you later tonight.
Yeah, he says see you later tonight.
Oh yeah, see you in the Sidebar Cantina.
Yeah.
See, I'm confused with them guys going live tonight. It's messing my brain up. I can about imagine what it's doing to a little girl. So that's pretty much what happened with quali.
Yes.
We get in the race. They go around and do their little formation lap. Obviously, all the hype is on Lewis and Max.
Yes.
All the hype is on whether or not Max will take fucking Lewis out in turn 1.
Yeah.
So the race starts, turn 1 happens, and Max gets a bad start off the line.
Yes, he does.
Lewis jumps in the lead. Max is at least able to hold on P2.
Yes.
Yeah. But they don't wreck.
No, they don't wreck, but it sure wasn't no passing race either.
So they go down to the new turn 5, grab the DRS rate. Unfortunately, the DRS is not, which is drag reduction system, is not turned on until 3 laps into
the race.
3 laps after a restart, or 3 laps into the 3 laps in the race, 2 laps after a restart from a safety car period.
Yes.
So Max is tailing right behind Lewis, gets a good slipstream.
Yes, he does.
And late braking, dives it into turn 6.
Yes.
Pushes out wide.
Yes.
Lewis avoids Max because he got a runoff. And Lewis guns it and ends up with a very big delta.
Yes.
Which then Lewis does let off to give some of that delta back, which according to the FIA or the stewards was enough to provoke a no investigation necessary for that turn 6 incident.
Which again, that rule's interpreted differently this week than it was at Jeddah.
Well, just so you know, there was one steward that came from Jeddah. Just so you know. One of the stewards actually was at Jeddah, so he was also here. I did hear that.
Well, he's probably outnumbered 2-1.
Anyway, so they finished lap 1, and then after that, Lewis just starts fucking checking out.
Yeah, he done set selling away. He went.
I mean, he's on hard tires. Max is on the soft tires. Max has pretty much got to baby the car at this point.
Yes, because the soft tires only last so many laps.
Right, and he's losing ground after ground after ground
after ground. Yes. So
eventually we get to where after Max pits for the hard or white marked tires, which is the hardest compound for that weekend, not the hardest compound by Pirelli,
but what
was considered hard this weekend.
Yes.
He pits for those, and within the next lap, Lewis comes in and covers them with doing the same thing.
Yes.
Which then you get Lewis keying the radio saying, "This is too early, man."
Yeah.
So we eventually get a virtual safety car. I don't remember what fucking lap it was.
I don't either.
But we get a virtual safety car, which Max dives in the pit road. They put on mediums.
Wasn't it? Yeah,
nope.
Mediums.
No, they put on new set of hards. My bad.
Yeah, new set of hards because he didn't have any mediums
right.
left.
And Mercedes decides to keep Lewis out on his old sets of hards.
That was the virtual safety car was for
Giovinazzi. Oh, yeah, that's right, because he was too far away from the pit lane.
And so
the hole in the wall.
Yeah, so it was Giovinazzi. His engine did the same. His engine or brakes did the same thing Kimmy's did.
Right. So that was our third out. So really with Russell, I think Russell made it back to the pit lane. Raikkonen made it back to pit lane. So that was why we didn't have no safety cars for both of those.
Yes, Russell actually did make it back to pit lane because he's going in for his pit stop to have tires changed, and they noticed that his engine was not acting right.
Well, I mean, this last race of the season, these engines have been under hell.
Yeah, so they said
by this point.
Yeah, so they said they had to retire.
Okay. Anyway, so virtual safety car ends.
Max
actually, you know what?
got a free
hold it. Before the virtual safety car, this is what so after Lewis pitted, that put Perez in first.
Yes, it did.
And they held Perez out as long as they could to hold up. And it literally came across the radio, stay out, hold up Lewis for Max.
Yes.
Which Perez put up a fucking fight. I mean, it's probably the best side-by-side battle we had the whole race.
Yes, it was.
But he ended up, Max was behind Lewis 7 seconds.
Yes.
And by the time Lewis finally got around Sergio for good, it was 1.9 seconds.
Yes.
And unfortunately, there goes Lewis again.
Yeah.
Set sail.
Yes.
So now we're at the virtual safety car. Lewis didn't pit. He's on old tires. Max is starting to catch up the time after we go back green, but eventually tires fall off again.
Yes, they do.
I think he was burned through them really bad. And then the next step we got was Latifi's wreck.
Yeah.
4 laps ago.
4 laps to go. That was Latifi's wreck.
Which brought out the safety car.
And this is a full safety car.
So at that point, there was enough gap between Max and third place that Max could dive in which his teammate was behind him. Max could dive in the pits, put on a fresh set of softs.
Now, by this time, before we go
which are the red tires.
Yeah. By this time, before we go any further, because the next thing that we're going to discuss, this needs to be put in, is by this time, Max and Lewis had lapped cars. So there was a few cars a lap down. So by the time the safety car came out, there was 5 lapped cars between Lewis and Max.
Right. And they were Norris, Alonso, Ocon, Leclerc.
And
maybe Vettel.
No, I thought it was Sainz.
Sainz wasn't a lap down.
Oh, okay. So it was,
I'm looking at everybody that's a lap down.
It might have been Vettel then. Might have been Vettel.
I think it was Vettel. Yeah, because they ended with plus on the plus side of on time. So yeah, so it was those 5.
Yeah. So then the full safety car comes out, and Max dives back into the pit for another pit stop. This is where they put the red tires or the soft compound on him.
So while they go around, and again, Mercedes did not pit Lewis for tires because according to them, they can't lose track position. But
which to me is bullshit.
Well, my thing is this: at least on the virtual safety car, they fucked up because they had the faster car.
Yes, they had the faster car all night.
Mercedes should have pitted Lewis at that point for even a new, because he had a new set of hards sitting in the fucking. sitting in the pit lane.
Yeah.
So they should have pitted him at that point, because when they put him on the hards, they put him on a used set of hards.
Yeah, I know they did.
That they use in practice.
Yeah.
So it made no sense to me why they did that. They can say all they want about the Delta or Max would have stayed out. Okay, so Max would have stayed out. He would have been on older tires while Lewis would have been on brand new tires, and Lewis would have caught him and went around him.
Yeah, because they had the fastest car.
Honestly, I think at this point here, Mercedes was playing the game of, we're staying as fucking far away from Verstappen as we can.
Exactly.
That's what I think they're playing.
Yeah.
So at that point, they want to stay on 40 lap used tires. Go for it. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so then as they're going around, the going around race control, which is
Michael Massey says,
first of all, they said the lap cars are not going to be able to gain their lap back.
Right.
Then
they weren't going to move him.
No.
Then they played a radio conversation between Christian Horner and Michael Massey talking about the freaking lap down cars. Well, Massey didn't say anything where he said he would do anything about them. He said, "Give me a moment, Christian. I'm working on the cleanup." That was the main important part.
Because it's his number one priority is safety of the drivers. Right.
So then, as we're coming around on the penultimate lap, getting ready to take the penultimate lap. So we got green with 2 laps to go. Right? No.
What? No, we are still under the safety car at this time.
It was, yeah. So we were coming to the last lap.
And at this time, Michael, the radio, it was race control. Yeah, race control popped up on the screen.
Which is Michael Massey.
Yeah, which is Michael Massey. Popped up on the screen saying the 5 cars that are between Max.
Pretty much what ended up being Norris, Alonso, Ocon, Leclerc, and Vettel were allowed to pass. Which then put Max with brand new reds on the back end of Lewis Hamilton.
And that is after it popped up that the safety car was ending this lap.
Right as soon as they got that which I believe was Vettel, once Vettel got past, boom, it popped up, safety car ending.
Yes.
Which was, I mean, even in my book, like, what?
Yeah.
I've never seen it go that fucking quick before. So they come around the green flag. Obviously, Max is all over Lewis.
Well, before we do that, Lewis was the de facto safety car, and Max was going like this. He was up.
They can't see. Oh, I guess they can.
Yeah, because Max was the side of him. And at this point, your leader's the de facto safety car, which was Hamilton. So Hamilton was here.
So, okay, hold on. Let's explain this, because obviously when we started doing this, whenever we started doing the Racing Weekly, we were doing both NASCAR and F1, and a lot of times we didn't really go into a lot of the F1 rules. So the one thing about it is, once you hit what they call Sector 3, it's a section on the track that's considered Sector 3, the safety car will shut its lights off, its yellow lights off, and haul ass forward, which then the leader of the race becomes what they call the de facto safety car.
Yes. So at this
nobody's allowed to overtake the safety car.
So Max comes up the side of him and
puts his front wing in front of the safety car.
Front wing in front of it. Then Hamilton goes. Then Max goes. Then Hamilton goes.
And then eventually Max pulls off. Then behind him again.
Yeah, Max pulls off behind him. So then that starts one of many controversies.
Okay, we're not there.
But that's what was doing. Then the last lap
because that all comes with the protest at the end of the race.
Yeah.
So let's get the race over with first.
So
and then we can talk about. So I can go through all the protests of Mercedes, because I've got the FIA rule book. I got the sporting code up for a reason.
Okay, go for it. Continue.
All right, so we get green flag.
Yes.
Max ain't got nothing for listening to turn 1.
No.
He's following through the rest of the corners. And as we're coming up to turn 5, he makes a fucking lunge.
He does.
Which he actually pushes outward.
Uh-huh.
Lewis corrects. Now, Lewis is behind Max.
Yes.
Going down the DRS straight. Again, no DRS at this time.
No.
So Lewis is using slipstream. He tries to come up beside him, can't get him. They go through the little chicane, come into the last DRS straight. Again, no DRS.
No.
Which again, drag reduction system, where it opens up the wing. The wing's like this, and they go.
Yeah.
Which lets air through. And Lewis looked like he was going to try to make a lunge on the outside of turn 9, going into turn 9, but unfortunately he couldn't.
No.
Which pretty much at that moment there left Max in the lead, unless Max fucked up.
Yeah.
Coming around the next few chicanes and corners. If he fucked up, then Lewis would win the race, but Max ended up taking the checker and winning his first ever championship.
Yes.
Now
the controversy begins.
The controversy began when Michael Massey decided to do what he did with, but we're going to get into all that because I've got, like I said, the rule book up. So let's start with Mercedes's protests. And this ought to be fun. I'm going to have to take my glasses off.
And then after the protest, we'll let him know what we found out later.
What do you mean?
We found out later from on the what we call the checker flag show that at the beginning of the race, Michael Massey made it abundantly clear that the race would finish under green and not under safety car.
Well, that's something that the teams all agreed to.
Yeah.
Is let it finish under green. Okay, so 48.2. If the clerk of the course considers it safe to do so, and the message lap cars may now overtake has been sent to all competitors via the official messaging system, any cars that have been lapped by the leader will be required to pass the cars on the lead lap and the safety car. This will only apply to the cars that were lapped at the time they crossed the line at the end of the lap, during which they crossed the first safety car line, or the second time after the safety car was deployed. Having overtaken the cars on the lead lap, the safety car, these cars should then proceed around the track at an appropriate speed without overtaking, and may make every effort to take up position at the back of the line of cars behind the safety car. Whilst they are overtaking, and in order to ensure that this may be carried out safely, the cars on the lead lap must always stay on the racing line unless deviating from it is unavoidable. Unless the clerk of the course considers the presence of the safety car is still necessary, once the last lap car has passed the leader, the safety car will return to the pits at the end of the following lap. If the clerk of the course considers track conditions are suitable for overtaking, the message overtaking will not be permitted, or unsuitable for overtaking, the message overtaking will not be permitted, will be sent to all competitors via the official messaging system. Now, I want to bring in the other one that Mercedes protested on. That's 48.8. With the exception of cases listed under A to H below, no driver may overtake another car on the track, including the safety car, until he passes the line, see Article 5.3, for the first time after the safety car has returned to the pits. The exceptions are if a driver is signaled to do so from the safety car. B, under Articles 41.C, 48.12, 51.6, 51.12 below. C, when entering the pits, a driver may pass another car remaining on track, including the safety car, after he has reached the first safety car line. D, when leaving the pits, a driver may overtake or be overtaken by another car on the track before he reaches the second safety car line. E, when the safety car is returning to the pits, it may be overtaken by cars on the track once it has reached the first safety car line. F, whilst in the pit entry, pit lane, or pit exit, a driver may overtake another car, which is also in one of these three areas. G, any car stopping in its designated garage area whilst the safety car is using the pit lane, see Article 48.11 below, may be overtaken. And H, if any car slows with an obvious problem.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what Mercedes was protesting on. So that they sent that to the stewards, plus money. I don't know how much money. That's the one that I could not find in the rule book. So upon looking things up, I started reading the rule book just to see if I could come up with anything under race director or whatnot that the FIA has. Now, mind you, these rules are not Formula One rules. These rules are the FIA's rule,
which are
supposed to be black and white,
but they're really gray.
But there is a lot of gray areas. So the clerk of the course, and this is under 15.3 of the sporting code. This is not anything that was protested against, but this is something that's kind of interesting that I think everybody needs to hear. The clerk of the course shall work in permanent consultation with the race director. The race director shall have overriding authority in the following matters, and the clerk of the course may give orders in respect to them only with his express agreement. So in other words, the race director may override authority in any of these areas. A, the control of practice, sprint qualifying session, and the race. Adherence to the timetable, and if he deems it necessary, the making of any proposal to the stewards to modify the timetable in accordance with the code or sporting regulations. B, the stopping of any car in accordance with the code or sporting regulations. C, the stopping of practice, suspension of a sprint qualifying session, or suspension of the race in accordance with the sporting regulations if he deems it unsafe to continue, and ensuring that the correct restart procedure is carried out. D, the starting procedure. And E, the use of the safety car.
Yes.
Which right there gives Michael Massey control to do whatever the fuck he wanted. So
yes, so if he wanted just to have those five cars pass, then he had those 5 cars pass.
So Mercedes put these things in. I think it was like 7:30 Abu Dhabi time. We finally got at 10:15 a decision by the FIA or the stewards. So under the FIA Formula One World Championship 2020 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, December 9th through the 12th, 2021, from the stewards to all teams. Procedure. On December 12th, the parties were summoned at 19:45 hours, documents 52 and 53, and heard. The following persons were present during the hearing. On behalf of Mercedes, Ron Meadows, Andrew Shovelin, Paul Harris, who is the team legal counsel. Mm-hmm. So Mercedes already brought their lawyers with them.
Yes.
To the track that weekend. On behalf of Red Bull, Jonathan Wheatley.
Oh, jeez.
2, at the hearing, there were no objections against the composition of the stewards panel. The parties set out oral arguments and addressed the questions asked by the stewards. 3, at the hearing, the parties referred to the documents submitted. None of the parties submitted further evidence or initiated the hearing of additional persons or conducting further investigations. The claims of Mercedes. Excuse me. Mercedes claimed that car 33, Max Verstappen,
yes,
overtook car 44 during the safety car period at 18:32 hours in breach of Article 48.8 of the 2021 Formula One sporting regulations. Okay, they saying he took him.
Yeah, and that's the...
Hold on. Let me go over this whole decision.
Okay.
Then you put your little 2 cents in, okay?
It's going to be more than 2 cents.
Red Bull's argument in defense. Red Bull argued that car 44 was not overtaken by car 33, that both cars were on and off the throttle, and that there were a million precedences under the safety car where cars had pulled alongside and moved back behind the car that was in front. Conclusion of the stewards. The stewards considered that the protest is admissible. Having considered the various statements made by the parties, the stewards determined that although car 33, Verstappen, did at one stage for a very short period of time move slightly in front of car 44 at a time when both cars were accelerating and braking, it moved back behind car 44 and was not in front when the safety car period ended, i.e. at the safety car line. Accordingly, the protest is dismissed and the protest deposit is not refunded.
Yes.
Competitors are reminded that they have the right to appeal certain decisions of the stewards in accordance with Article 15 of the FIA International Sporting Code and Chapter 4 of the FIA Judicial and Disciplinary Rules within the applicable time limits, which is actually 96 hours, which at that means Mercedes has until Thursday night at 7 GMT, which is the green, whatever the fuck. But yeah.
Yes.
All right, Kim, so we're talking about the overtaking.
Yeah. I mean, to me, overtaking is passing the car and getting ahead. He never did.
Okay. Are you talking about fully passing the car?
Yeah. Fully passing the car and pulling in front of him is overtaking.
Where are my glasses?
Right here. Max never did that to Lewis.
His front ring got a little ahead of Lewis's wing.
But you also seen on the replay that Lewis was stopping too.
They're both
again,
accelerating, letting off. I mean, they're both just doing, getting their tires warm. Anyways,
again, define what overtaking is.
Well, okay. First of all, in my opinion, overtaking is a full car in front of the other car. However, there are exceptions to this rule. Because if Max would have kept doing that and they got to the safety car line and Max's front wing was in front, hit that safety car line before Lewis's, Max would have been in violation. So the problem is you got the FIA on their sporting codes do not have it does not spell it out what a overtake is.
Yeah, exactly.
Because here's the other thing too. When it comes to the checker flag and hitting the line, they're side by side. Who gets the win?
Exactly.
The car the one's barely got a wing in front.
Yeah.
So again, the FIA needs to go in and make this rule more black and white.
Yeah,
versus gray. And that means easily, if you want it to be the fucking front wing, if any part of your front wing passes the front wing of the de facto safety car, you've overtaken the safety car.
Yes. They need to rewrite that fucking rule.
Which really pisses me off because I earlier this year defended Formula One or defended the FIA in having a very black and white system.
They don't.
Versus NASCAR.
They don't. They don't have a black and white system. They're as bad as NASCAR.
Right. But we're going to get into some other things where I think could work. So let's go ahead and get over to the other protest. Right?
Oh,
protest number 2.
Lovely.
And that is the Article 48.12. On December 12th, the parties were summoned at 20:15 hours, so 8:15 that night. Documents 54 and 55, and heard. The following persons were present during the hearing on behalf of Mercedes: Ron Meadows, Andrew Shublin, Paul Harris, team legal counsel. On behalf of Red Bull, Jonathan Wheatley, Christian Horner, Adrian Newey. Mm-hmm. They brought more people this time.
Yes.
Red Bull, as an interested party, was permitted to attend. The hearing adjourned at 20:50 to allow Red Bull to consider its response in further detail and reconvened at 21:30 hours. So they originally showed up 2015 hours. Then at 20:50, they adjourned to allow Red Bull to consider its response and then reconvened at 21:30. The race director was present for the reconvened hearing. 2, at the hearing, there were no objections against the composition of the stewards panel. The parties set out oral arguments, addressed the questions asked by the stewards. 3, at the hearing, the parties referred to documents submitted. Red Bull submitted graphical information, Exhibit A, which I wish we had, but we don't get that stuff in these decision makings, which sucks. F1 or FI needs to change some of the rules. So here we go. The claims by Mercedes. Mercedes claimed that there were 2 breaches of the sporting regulations, Article 48.12, namely that which states any cars that have been lapped by the leader will be required to pass the cars on the lap and the safety car, end quote. And once the last lap, and I quote again, once the last lap car has passed the leader, the safety car will return to the pits at the end of the following lap, end quote. That is the regulation. Let me go over the whole thing.
Okay.
You have any eyeballs?
Yes, I do, actually.
Mercedes argued that had this been complied with, car 44 would have won the race. They therefore requested the stewards to amend the classification under Article 11.9.3.h of the FIA International Sporting Code. Red Bull's arguments in defense. Red Bull argued that, and I quote, number 1, any does not mean all.
That's right.
2, that was an end quote, by the way. 2, the Article 48.13 of the sporting regulations states that the message, and I quote, safety car in this lap, end quote, is a signal that it will enter the pit lane at the end of that lap. 3, that therefore Article 48.13, end quote, overrides, or begin quote, end quote, overrides Article 48.12. 4, that Article 15.3 gives the race director, and I quote, overriding authority, end quote, over the and I quote again, the use of the safety car, end quote. And 5, that even if all cars that had been lapped, 8 in total, of which 5 were allowed to overtake the safety car, it would have not changed the outcome of the race. Race director's evidence. Michael Massey. This is what he had to say. The race director stated that the purpose of Article 48.12 was to remove those lap cars that would, and I quote, interfere, end quote, in the racing between the leaders, and that in his view, Article 48.13 was the one that applied in this case. The race director also stated that it had been long agreed by all teams that where possible, it was highly desirable for the race to end in a, and I quote again, green, end quote, condition, not under a safety car.
Exactly.
Conclusion of the stewards. The stewards considered the protest is admissible. Having considered the various statements made by the parties, the stewards determined the following. That Article 15.3 allows the race director to control the use of the safety car, which in our determination includes its deployment and withdrawal.
Exactly.
That although Article 48.12 may not have been fully applied in relation to the safety car returning to the pits at the end of the following lap, Article 48.13 overrides that, and once the message, and I quote, safety car in this lap, end quote, has been displayed, it is mandatory to withdraw the safety car at the end of that lap. That notwithstanding Mercedes' request that the stewards remediate the matter by the amending the classification to reflect the positions at the end of the penultimate lap, this is a step that the stewards believe is effectively shortening the race respectively and hence not appropriate. Accordingly, the protest is dismissed. The protest deposit is not refunded. Competitors are reminded that they may have the right to appeal certain decisions of the stewards in accordance with Article 15 of the FIA International Sporting Code and Chapter 4 of the FIA Judicial and Disciplinary Rules within the applicable time limits, which again, they have until Thursday evening, 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. GMT.
Okay, so
Glasses.
if you want to curve these whiny babies, these two whiny teams I'm about ready to give binkies to.
Give me your phone. Oh, you got me. Let's keep mine. Never mind. I don't know what that is, but that's bannable.
Looks like Luna Girl.
What the hell is Tom to?
Did you just walk him?
Put in timeout. Anyways, keep talking, Kim. I got this.
Okay. Anyway, if you want to nip this rule in the ass, besides giving Red Bull a Mercedes binky and Mercedes a Red Bull binky, then it needs to be every car that has been lapped, either one pulls into the pits and waits till all cars on the lead lap has passed, or two pulls over to a safe side of the track, lets all of the cars that are on the lead lap past them, and then fall in behind. That way it nips this in the ass, and you don't have Mercedes whining that the rules were broken and Red Bull saying no, they weren't broken because Michael Massey has the right to override things.
Right. And just to point out, Luna Girl, anytime any of those like messages come up after the show's over, just in the comments, YouTube automatically blows them out of my chat. Or not out of the chat, but out of the comment section. So I'm assuming they just that is something bad. So it's all good. You're fine.
Yeah.
You do a great job.
That's fun.
Anyways. So what did you say?
I said
I was
Yeah. I said, aside from giving Mercedes a Red Bull binky and Red Bull a Mercedes binky to stop their whining and crying.
Oh, God, what a fucking season for that, huh?
Yeah. They need to, if they want to nip this in the ass, either one, all cars that are on the lead lap passes all cars that are lap down while the cars move over to either the side or move into the pit.
Okay, but how about, let's just take the IndyCar. IndyCar has a great rule. That with so many laps left in the race, all lap down cars go to the tail end of the line.
Yeah, that too.
Go behind all the lead lap cars. NASCAR don't have that because they give one car
their lap back.
Right, they give one car the lucky dog, and then the rest of them all drop back behind the lead lap cars. So maybe that's something where F1 needs to look into. Where so many laps left in the race. How hard is this to drop all those lap down cars behind all the lead lap cars? It's not. There's no need to fucking waste time bringing them around the damn track to get caught up.
No, there isn't, because that just prolongs the race.
Right. I mean, because at that point there, you could have dropped them all down, and we could have green with 3 laps to go.
Yeah.
Within the
3-lap shootout.
Or 2 laps to go or something. We could have had a chance for some good, or at least a couple laps of racing.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and unfortunately, it ended up in a controversy, as Cropsy called it.
Yes, it did.
It is I hate to say this, it's a mark on this year's championship.
It is,
which was a great fucking year, a great championship.
It was a year to remember. It was a year the fans wanted. They wanted somebody to test Mercedes, so they wouldn't just sell right off with the championship.
Then, as unfortunately, I found this out just recently. Unfortunately, a lot of, I guess, Lewis fans have been attacking Nicholas Latifi, saying that he purposely brought that out to let Max win the race. And all it does, and I haven't looked up to see what they're actually saying to him, but I know it's not been good. And all it reminds me of is when Dale Sr. died, and all of the Earnhardt fans were sending letters and shit to, I don't remember what team Sterling Marlin drove for at the time, but they were sending messages to him, and they were literally death threats for killing Earnhardt. It's not it. First of all, an accident happens. I mean, he lost control. Latifi lost control of his car, hits the wall. I mean, if that's the case, well, guess what? Valtteri Bottas did the same fucking thing. It's like Kimi Räikkönen. Y'all want to give Kimi Räikkönen the driver of the friggin' race because he was ending his career. Yet some great fucking career or great champion he hit the fucking wall. Oh, wait a minute. That's because anybody can lose control of their fucking car and hit the wall.
Why didn't you follow the goddamn weekend, Twitter idiots?
They did. It's just
it happened all weekend long.
Nicholas Latifi did nothing wrong.
No, he didn't.
Really?
And these stupid
Kim, it is part of Twitter Nation.
Yeah, they're Twitter idiots.
That's why I like being part in the Red 5 family, because it's so calm. I didn't search it out. I heard it from another podcast I listened to who brought it up. So I wanted to bring it up. Didn't realize I was going to get you all pissy.
It's stupid. It's ridiculous.
It's the times, dear.
The championship was won. It's still not completely won. He still probably won't be champion.
Why?
If the appeal goes through.
Oh, fuck. They ain't gonna. So, we don't even know if they're going to appeal yet. They said they are intending to appeal. But everybody does that. After they lose a decision from a protest at the end of the race, they always all say, we intend to appeal. And then they don't. I know is Lewis Hamilton came out and literally told Red Bull, or not Red Bull, sorry. Told Mercedes to drop it.
Yeah. I know.
And I know Toto and Lewis have both reached out to Max, congratulating him on the championship. And the thing is when it boils down to it, the driver's title is only a title.
It's the title.
It's a trophy.
Yeah, it's not the money maker.
It's a trophy. The money is from the Constructors' Championship, which Mercedes won.
Yeah, they won. We knew they were going to win. Red Bull just had nothing for them.
Now, my conspiracy. Oh, you have more.
Yes, I have more. Now, for all you Twitter fuckers.
Oh, come on.
That decided to sandblast Latifi, just remember the Drivers' Championship may be prestigious, but in F1 it doesn't mean any money.
It don't mean shit.
It doesn't mean shit at all.
See,
if you want a trophy to mean something, then it's time to look into the constructors.
Well, if you want it to mean something, fucking get a guy sponsors for it, so they'll pay some money for it.
Exactly. If you want,
the NASCAR Drivers' Championship is the drivers receive money.
Yeah, they do.
IndyCar Drivers' Championship, drivers receive money.
Yeah, because I think Monster sponsors that one. It's called the Dave. I think Monster's one of the sponsors.
For what?
One of the sponsors that helps that trophy. Or is it just strictly NASCAR now?
Like, I don't know who sponsored that trophy.
Because I know it's called the Bill France Cup.
Right, they changed the name of it, so they have to keep calling, because the fans lost their shit after we went Winston Cup to Sprint Cup to Nextel Cup to Sprint Cup to the Monster Cup.
Single engine plane.
So they decided just to call it the NASCAR.
Yeah.
Or the Bill France Cup.
By the way, people, that was a single engine plane flying over us, if you heard that.
Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Anytime we say we hear a plane, I go back in when I'm listening to the audio and I've done all my magic with it. It's not there.
Okay.
Just let you know, it's not there.
Okay.
Anyways, I got nothing more.
Okay, now go on.
My conspiracy theory about Sergio Perez and why he was asked to DNF, retire the car.
Yeah, I know.
I've got two. Theories on this. One is there wasn't enough fuel left in the car, so they had to DNF him so they would have enough to check it in.
Yes.
Otherwise, they've been just DQ'd, which could happen because they could have easily underfueled the car so he could be a help to Max to win the title, which actually makes sense to me.
Yes.
Or the other theory is what Red Bull said. The engine was on its last leg and
didn't want another.
Well, no, they just didn't want. I mean, they didn't want to have him blow, the engine expire on track where it would prolong the safety car, or brought out another safety car.
Yeah. I'm kind of leaning towards more or less.
I'm leaning towards the low fuel part.
Well, then I'm leaning opposite because it could be the engine. Because I don't know if did he ever get a new engine?
Yes.
Oh. But with as high as they ran it.
Kim, can I ask you this question? Do you remember when they called him in to retire the car?
Yeah.
What did he say? Really?
Yeah.
He was shocked.
Okay.
That right there tells me the engine was fine, because usually the first thing we hear about the engine going bad is from the drivers.
Okay.
Right? Yes or no?
Yes, go ahead.
And yet there was no other communication from Red Bull to Sergio mentioning that the car, they're noticing different things on their telemetry.
Okay.
All right, believe what you want. You want to believe your friggin' team isn't lying about it?
I'm not saying they're not lying. I'm not saying they're not lying.
You said you believe what Red Bull said.
I'm just saying it's a possibility because they did run the engine pretty high. But I guess the more possibility is the fuel.
Right. The lower the fuel, the faster they are.
So.
No.
I don't know.
Well, wait a minute. Do they have a full tank of fuel when they do Q3?
I don't know if they do or not.
No, they don't. They have a fuller tank on Q1 than they do by Q3.
Okay. I did not know that.
Oh, wait, never mind. You don't watch fucking qualifying.
Not that often, no.
I almost going to say something, but I just remember you just right. The qualifying's on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And you're not watching.
No, I can't because I work in the morning.
Right. All right. Well, thank God season's over.
Yeah, the baby season.
It's a baby. They're babies all year long.
I know they are.
All of them are. All teams.
I know they are.
Including NASCAR.
I know they are.
So nothing's changed.
And it won't ever change.
Right. Anyways, Sidebar Cantina is tonight.
Yes, it is.
Tonight.
Which is 2 hours. I think it might already be on.
Shouldn't be.
Oh, 5:30.
5:30 Eastern.
Yeah, which is 2:30 here.
No, 3:30 here.
3:30 here. Okay.
2:30 if you're on the Pacific part. We're Mountain Standard Time.
Duh. I got so many damn time zones in my head.
Must be a personal problem.
Yeah, it is actually a personal problem. Because I gotta know time zones.
So with the season over, I know I want to do once we're out of the Christmas holiday season. Because obviously we're going to use up a lot of what was our race coverage for extra stuff, just to throw some extra movies out there.
Yes.
We don't expect many people to be a part of being it, because it's just, we'll talk about some movies that most people don't even know.
Yes.
I mean, everybody knows Christmas Story, but Santa Claus movie, I guarantee most people don't even know that fucking movie.
No, they don't.
And obviously they know Rankin
and Bass. Which, yeah, most everybody knows the classics.
And I think most people are turning their nose up to the new Home Alone movie, which I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be a shit show.
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
But I'm assuming, so what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of you and me. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, we're going to come back in the new season. We'll go over the new 2022 regulations, sporting codes. We'll go over the sporting codes. We'll see if I'll keep an eye out whether or not they change these sporting codes.
They damn well better.
And if they make it a little more black and white and understandable.
Yeah.
If they don't, then that's an issue.
Yeah, it'll be an issue even next year. Even with the new cars, it'll be an issue.
Right. But yeah, so again, check out Sidebar Cantina later tonight at 5:30 Eastern on their YouTube channel. They'll be doing Nightmare Before Christmas. Shortly, or at 8 p.m. Eastern will be, damn it, Rogue One.
Yes, and then
Rogue One with Radio doing the Rogue One, the Star Wars story. And then at 9 o'clock Eastern will be Scuttlebutt podcast.
And they've got a special guest in the booth.
Right. Special guest, and they're doing this Scare Up Live with that.
Yes.
So that is the lineup for the rest of this evening. And then tomorrow night will be ATSW The Escape Pod at 7:05. Again, I don't know what they're talking about, but I guarantee it's going to be funny. It's going to be hilarious. And it will be really funny because they like to drink on the show.
They do.
Which, I don't know. Maybe I'll start drinking.
Okay, I can't say no. That's your choice.
You damn right, it's my choice. It's called freedom of choice. Do what I want. No. What?
Do what you have to.
All right.
I mean.
Anyways, coming in January, I'm going to start doing, I don't think it'll be 5 days a week, but I'm going to start putting up some extra shows on Patreon. Hopefully by video, but we'll see, because Patreon's got some weird fucking things. If not, it'll at least be audio only, and that's where it'll stay audio only. It will never be released on the podcast itself, part of the podcast feed, so it will never come to live on, will live on our podcast apps or whatnot, but it will be on Patreon. So you want to be able to get those episodes, go ahead and go subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com. Search again, use and views in the creator bar, and for $5 you can get this extra tidbits that are going to start in January.
Yes.
And until, well, if we see you next Tuesday, we'll see you next Tuesday. Otherwise, if not, have a happy holidays, and we'll see you when we come back, whenever we are.
Yep.
We don't know. Supposed to be back next Tuesday, but we'll see. Never know.
That's true.
Because it seems like, I don't know. It just seems like we're, I don't know. Anyways. Peace.
Peace.